These PowerPoints are going to cover briefly the bioecological model. I expect that most of you have had it in CY or CEHS 200. At any rate, if you don't understand the bioecological model, you can do some research on the internet, and you should be able to find a place to explain it fairly easily. But we're going to cover it really quickly, so it's kind of very easy theory, but more difficult to apply. So we'll talk more about application of it in class. It's a developmental theory. It's used to discuss the process of development for individuals, primarily starting at childhood and onward. There's four pieces to it. There's the process of development, there's the person involved in the development, the context of development, and the time that it takes to develop. The process is the core, what happens during the process of interaction between the child, the world, their time, and the context is what creates the development process is crucial. The person, this is the biopsychosocial characteristics. This is the individual characteristics of that person. Time, this is just time. Development takes place over time. It isn't an instantaneous thing, as the name denotes. Context is what we mostly think about when we think of the bioecological model, and there's several different systems or different layers of this context. Individual being at the center. That's the microsystem, is that next layer. And the microsystem is really their face-to-face environment. So if we're talking about children, it could be home, it could be school, it could be interaction with parents, grandparents, it could be at the playground, whatever. The mesosystem is where two or more environments interface. So that's the type of thing where parents go see teachers. It can or doesn't necessarily have to have the child present, but that's where that's at. The exosystem is something that has a direct effect on the child but is not influent or does not involve the child, so the parents' work would be another example of that. And then macrosystem is just global ideologies, big picture things. Here's a diagram that kind of explains things and what different things occur at different levels. There are a lot of different things that occur in the system and in the environment that affect children in the context. It's important that you know which level of the context you're going to be working. So if you're a teacher, you're going to be working at the micro level when you have the child in your class. When you're parent-teacher conference or home visits, you're going to be at the meso level. When you're in a teacher development, teacher training course, or you're having some type of training given by the school system, that's going to be exo level. And if you're involved at a policy level, that will be your macro level. And same with other systems. If you're a child care center, you're at the micro level when you're interacting with the kid, the meso with the parents, the exo when you're talking about policy level things and administrative issues, and then macro as you work on big picture policy things for the community. Again, this is a really important graph. What I want you to think about is, where do you feel most comfortable? Do you feel most comfortable directly interacting with specifically the child, directly interacting with the child and the parents in an exo level, directly interacting, or a meso level, I'm sorry, directly interacting in an administrative situation for an exo level? These are different kind of agencies that you might work. I want you to take a minute and think about which of the levels you feel most comfortable at and why.